A lot of people quote Paul in Galatians as if he's warning believers to stay far away from the Torah, especially Galatians 3 verse 10, a verse that gets pulled out of context more than almost any other. And if you've ever mentioned that you keep Sabbath or that you eat biblically clean, you may have heard this one. Hey buddy, you're under a curse. Galatians 3 verse 10. So today I want to slow down. Look at what Paul actually said, because Paul wasn't warning against doing the law. He was warning against relying on the law for justification. Notice the word, rely. Not those who do the law. Not those who obey God. Not those who walk in His commandments. Paul is talking about people who base their covenant identity, their salvation status, on works of the law. That's a trust issue, a justification issue, a heart-level issue, not an obedience issue. In Greek, Paul says, as many as are of works of the law, that little word kappa, out of, from, based on, tells the whole story. Paul is describing people who derive their covenant status from Torah performance. People who say, I'm right with God because I'm circumcised. I belong because I'm Jewish. I'm justified because I keep the boundary markers. Paul is confronting reliance, not obedience. Let's make this simple. Doing the law is obedience, walking in God's ways. Relying on the law is using obedience as your justification system. Paul never condemns obedience. He condemns self-justification. That's the whole issue in Galatians. Paul quotes Deuteronomy. Cursed is everyone who does not continue in all things written in the law. The curse is not the law. The curse is not obedience. The curse is not Sabbath or dietary laws. The curse is the penalty for breaking the law, and that penalty ends in death. And since all of us have sinned, all of us stand under that curse before Messiah. Not because we obey Torah, but because we violated it. Paul says Messiah redeemed us from the curse by becoming a curse for us. How? By dying. He took the penalty, not the Torah. He removed the condemnation, not the commandments. He dealt with the death, not the obedience. But none of that means obedience is bad. None of that means God's commandments are harmful. None of that means walking in His ways is legalism. Paul isn't fighting Torah. He's fighting self-righteousness. So the next time someone quotes Galatians 3 verse 10 at you, just remember, Paul never said obedience puts you under a curse. He said relying on obedience for salvation does. And that's a message every believer, Torah observant or not, needs to hear.